Welcome to Grady Newsource, your source for news in Northeast Georgia. I'm Parker McCollum.
And I'm Megan Bosman. Coming up on Grady Newsource, absentee ballots for upcoming Athens elections are now open. We'll tell you how to request your ballot.
The potential for a second data center in Athens is on pause again. We'll fill you in on what happened in last night's City Hall meeting.
And you may be on camera. A new form of surveillance has landed in Athens, but not everyone is joining the flock. We'll tell you why today on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication, this is Grady Newsource.
Thanks for joining us. Yesterday, a high-profile court case finished in Barrow County. A jury found Colin Gray, the father of the accused Appalachia High School shooter, guilty on all 29 charges, including 2 counts of second-degree murder. Grady Newsource reporter Lindsay Mutzman joins us live from the courthouse with more.
This is the second case of a parent being held criminally responsible for a school shooting carried out by their child. After 11 days of testimony and emotional closing arguments, jurors found that Colin Gray's actions had a key role in the deaths of 4 people at Appalachia High School on September 4th, 2024. Prosecutors argued Colin Gray had sufficient warning signs and failed to act on these warnings. Gray's son, Colt, struggled with poor mental health and had a, quote, shrine of a previous school shooting in his bedroom. Prosecutors also showed jurors the rifle Colin Gray bought his son as a Christmas gift and allowed him to keep it in his bedroom. However, the defense emphasized Georgia law does not require guns to be locked up and said Colt Gray acted alone. The shooting lasted 41 seconds. Prosecutors argued school administrators had minutes to connect the dots.
She was teaching about connecting the dots,
while Colin Gray had years. The jury found Colin Gray guilty of second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and cruelty to children, agreeing that his criminal negligence contributed to the shooting.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
Colt Gray's case is still pending as he awaits a mental health evaluation before moving forward in this courthouse. For now, Colin Gray waits sentencing. For Grady Newsource, I'm Lindsay Mutzman. Back to the studio.
And now we'll follow up to a story we brought you a few weeks ago. Surveillance cameras were able to track down the suspect in a sexual assault that happened last week in downtown Athens. Reporter Jack Cooney has an update.
Thanks, Parker. A few weeks ago, we reported on the Real-Time Crime Center, a sector of the Athens-Clarke County Police Department. The RTCC utilizes cameras around the county to respond to criminal activity in real time. In a press release, Athens-Clarke investigators said they used the footage from these cameras to track the suspect, identify, and apprehend him. He was later charged with kidnapping, aggravated sexual battery, and rape. While some Athens residents are hesitant of this technology, police say it can assist in investigations like this one. This investigation is still ongoing.
Cities across the country are cutting ties with flock safety surveillance cameras. But here in Northeast Georgia, these devices, also known as ALPRS, or automated license plate readers, are still going up. Reporter Sonia Sutkavage explains what flock is and why some residents are raising concerns.
Since January 2025, more than 30 cities across the country have terminated their contracts with flock safety. But here in Northeast Georgia, the cameras continue to pop up. Watchdog groups are keeping track of their deployment across the country. But what exactly is a flock camera? These AI-powered automatic license plate readers capture passing vehicles' data and send it back to subscribers. Customers may be private entities or government agencies. Barrow County Sheriff's Department has 70 flock cameras in use.
We started seeing some results as far as crime decreasing, being able to make more arrests or find out who's doing certain crimes.
Flock says their cameras assist in over 700,000 crimes a year. But the technology is controversial. Headlines like these have fueled concerns about abuse of power. According to DFlock.me, 82 cameras are in use in Athens-Clarke County. Felix Bell, Vice Chair of Athens Public Safety Civilian Oversight Board, has asked the ACCPD for details.
When I asked, as part of the board, to see MOUs, to see what data they're collecting. Not only could they not tell me, they don't legally have to.
Cities that have ended their flock contracts cite concerns about the data being shared with federal agencies like ICE.
We have made it known that the guys are not to use it for anything like, oh, I'm trying to find someone that's here illegally. So, things like, the information getting to ICE and things like that is not happening.
The question remains, who owns the data, flock or the law enforcement agencies?
They have no control over the flock cameras. They have no control over the video feed. They have no control where that video feed goes.
So while some cities are stepping away from this technology, here in Northeast Georgia, flock is doing well. But debates continue. Are these cameras keeping us safe or watching us a bit too closely? For Grady Newsource, I'm Sonia Sakavage.
Thanks, Sonia. Coming up, absentee ballots are now available for Athens voters. We'll have more information on this after the break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Out of town for the upcoming elections, Newsource reporter Kay Johnson has the scoop on what you need to do to vote.
It's a big week for elections in Athens-Clarke County. Requests for absentee ballots for primary elections opened this week if you are unable to make it to the polls in person.
You do not have to come in person. You can do it in person, or you can do it online if you choose so.
But who's going to be on those ballots? Those decisions are happening this week, with candidates coming in and going through their qualifying process.
For a first-time candidate in this process, I think that it was seamless.
Sharon Miller, one of the many candidates running for Athens mayor, says the process makes her candidacy feel legitimate.
It makes this race real. Since October, I've been running with the intent, and today it becomes real all the way to the finish line.
Athens residents can expect to see these roles up for election on their ballot, including mayor, solicitor general, superior court chief judge, and more. The candidates will be finalized by this Friday at 2 p.m. For Grady Newsource, I'm Kay Johnson.
Also, by the end of this week, voters will know who's running for Georgia governor and other elected offices. We may see the ballot change as candidates continue to announce their campaigns or drop out of the race.
And some individuals undoubtedly who have said they were going to run may look at the cost and look at kind of who else is running and say, yeah, yeah, it was fun, but I'm really not going to pay somebody to go out and have my brains beat out of me.
Democratic State Representative Rua Roman announced in a post last week that she was dropping out of the governor's race and is now running for the state Senate seat in District 7. For over 20 years, Republicans have held the governor's seat. The last Democratic governor was Roy E. Barnes, who was elected in 1998 and served until 2003. Bullock says voters will start seeing an increase in campaigning as Election Day gets closer. Grady Newsource will keep you updated on who's going to be on your ballot on May 19th.
Another race to keep an eye on are the Athens-Clarke County municipal elections on May 19th. Candidates in the county's odd-numbered districts will be up for re-election. For a chance to connect with the candidates, the Athens Anti-Discrimination Movement is hosting a meet-and-greet event at the Athens-Clarke County Library on March 9th from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
A new bipartisan bill proposal would eliminate the 4% sales tax on feminine hygiene products and certain baby products, including diapers and formula. Programs such as SNAP do not cover diapers, and the Georgia Diaper Bank Coalition says that removing this tax would save families $80 per child. With this tax elimination, women would save $1,000 within their lifetime.
Data centers are a hot topic on the minds of many Georgians. Up next, we'll have more on potential new data centers here in Athens.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
A vote during the Athens-Clarke County Commissioners meeting last night decided the immediate fate for new data centers in the area. Grady Newsource reporter Anna Scull has the result and more.
With a unanimous vote, Athens-Clarke County Commissioners put a moratorium or a temporary hold on the construction of new data centers. This extends the existing moratorium for another 3 months until June 5th, 2026. The original moratorium, adopted in December 2025, was an emergency measure meant to stop data center development until zoning regulations had been updated. Updates included requirements for data centers to recycle their own water and to generate clean energy if they use more than 5 megawatts of power. But after public feedback and concerns about state legislation, commissioners sent the proposal back to the Planning Commission for further revisions. Currently, no statewide moratorium on data centers exists, but lawmakers are debating proposed legislation. House Bills 1012 and 1059 would pause any new construction until either 2027 or 2028, respectively, while environmental, water, and energy studies are being conducted. District 122 Representative Spencer Fry is concerned about the economic impact of data center operation.
So is it smart policy to bring low numbers of jobs but large uses of electricity and water? I'm not really sure I've been able to calculate the ultimate benefit the data centers being in Georgia.
In Athens, this has brought up a major concern regarding transparency, as residents don't want data centers like this one appearing out of nowhere.
The insatiable demand for power by data centers, it's going to create huge problems.
Athens-Clarke County recently proposed regulations that would place data centers only in industrial zoned areas. These are often adjacent to low-income communities like Pittard Road. During a recent town hall meeting in Winterville, organized by the Democratic Party, residents voiced their concerns.
Because we don't want data centers in our Black and marginalized neighborhoods only.
A key date in the legislative session is just around the corner. March 6th is the deadline for bills to pass at least one chamber if they want to stay alive. As the State House wraps up this legislative session in April, we'll continue to keep you updated. Anna Scull, reporting for Grady Newsource.
The relationship between mental health and crime has been the subject of debate in recent years. Now, Georgia lawmakers are taking action. Grady Newsource reporter Amelia Durden shows us more.
With a unanimous vote, Athens-Clarke County...
So there's...
hundreds of individuals who are deteriorating in the county jails. We are not equipped to handle individuals that are under mental health distress and crisis. We just aren't.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp just signed an amendment to Georgia's 2026 fiscal year budget. Included in the bill is a plan to allocate $409 million to a new mental health hospital. The 300-bed facility will be Georgia's first new state psychiatric hospital in more than 60 years.
Law enforcement officers from all across Georgia have supported this plan, saying that jails have become mental health hospitals. In Atlanta alone, officers respond to roughly 19 mental health calls a day, with few places available to take someone in crisis. And we're seeing something similar in Northeast Georgia.
We're not a mental health facility, and we don't have mental health doctors here,
Right.
nor the equipment or the training to be able to deal with that. So it's definitely needed.
While many people support the bill, some are saying that 300 beds may not be enough to meet Georgia's needs.
Unfortunately, our state hasn't had enough mental health beds to accommodate this. So there's only 500 of these folks that are sitting in county jails throughout the state who need mental health treatment.
Construction is estimated to take 2 to 3 years, with locations like Augusta and Atlanta being considered likely locations for the new hospital. Grady Newsource, I'm Amelia Durden.
After the break, special guest Jesse Isaac joins us to talk about spiritual well-being at the University of Georgia and how it could help bridge divides.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, that's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Hi, Jesse. So can you tell us a little bit about the new spiritual well-being initiative that has been brought to the UGA campus?
Yes, so the Spiritual Wellbeing Initiative that just came to UGA, it started actually August 2025, so it's been here for about a semester. And it's basically a program to help promote students' general overall well-being, and they do that through different ways. They want to promote like physical, spiritual, mental well-being, so they have like different events that you can go to, and they have events that you can kind of, students can come and just have conversations with each other, and they have events like yoga and outdoor walks just to promote students' general overall well-being.
Right. You know, we are in such polarizing times, so having those face-to-face conversations is so important, and you wrote an incredible article about this. So what did you personally learn going and speaking with this group?
Yes, so I spoke with the grad assistant. Her name is Meg Rooney, and she's a first-year PhD student here in the Department of Religion. And I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I learned that she has a Master of Divinity, and so she's very knowledgeable in her faith. and I learned that we are of different faiths. So going into the conversation, we ended up kind of talking a lot about theology, which I didn't expect to go there, but it did. And I really enjoyed it because she was so knowledgeable. I kind of felt myself like being influenced like by some of her ideas and her thoughts, and they were different from my own, which was really exciting and really interesting. And I also just learned from what she was explaining in the program, like they have a lot of events where students of different backgrounds can come and they want to promote interfaith dialogue. So students from different religious backgrounds or no religious backgrounds, they can all come together and they can have these conversations where they are exposed to beliefs that are different from their own, and maybe even their opinions could be changed.
That is incredible. It is incredibly beneficial for our student body as well. So how can students become a part of this initiative if they choose to do so?
Well, I think that anyone can become involved from what I gathered. It's a very broad program, so I think it's very inclusive. Like I said, like they have a lot of events where they try and promote interfaith dialogue. So anyone from any religious background or no religious background can come and just have those conversations with each other, and it can be even just more like on a spirituality aspect as well. They invite everyone to come.
Well, amazing. So Jessie, thank you so much for speaking with me on this topic.
Thank you so much for having me.
Recovery Warriors, a local nonprofit, hosted Recovery's Got Talent on Saturday. The event aimed to provide a safe nightlife experience for those struggling with addiction.
Performances included spoken word, singing, and dancing. All performers are welcome, and the next event will take place Saturday, May 2nd. And the Recovering Warriors are working to raise $145,000 to open a permanent home for recovery in Athens. To learn more, go to the Athens Recovery Warriors website.
Fireflies are taking flight once again this Saturday. Athens residents can attend the annual Flight of the Fireflies Lantern Parade at Dudley Park. There will be performers, art shows, and live music. But of course, the highlight of the night will be when people can use their DIY lanterns, lights, and torches to illuminate the Athens sky. The route will take around 30 minutes to complete, starting at the park, crossing the Firefly Trestle Bridge, and then eventually circling back to the festivities. For more information on this annual event, visit accgov.com.
Coming up, a new podcast is spotlighting Athens residents, creatives, and businesses. We'll be right back after this break.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Visit Athens' new video podcast, Athens Off the Record, is showcasing staples of the city. Reporter Andrew Otten explains how the podcast features the people behind your favorite businesses, events, and art that make the town thrive.
Visit Athens is going beyond brochures and social media, launching a podcast to bring local stories directly to listeners. The new podcast, Athens Off the Record, creates a new platform to highlight the hidden gems of the classic city.
Podcasts have been redefining the media industry, growing as a popular outlet for entertainment, storytelling, and even marketing.
The way that they're getting their word out, it's just, magnifies our message to the community, even if that's not their target audience.
According to Edison Research, Americans consume 773 million hours of podcasts each week. 51% of Americans have been exposed to a video podcast. Katie Williams shares her vision for the impact of each episode.
Everything goes back to inspiring people to visit Athens, and so we wanted every story to be something that a visitor could connect to when they came to Athens.
And wherever you are, podcasts are one click away.
With the podcast, it was an opportunity to kind of extend the stories off of our website, out of our visitor's guide, and bring them to a place where kind of meet people where they are. They're listening to this content, they're consuming it, whether in their car or at their desk, on their phones.
Well-known local chains like Jittery Joe's are leaning into their stories and the new social platform.
You didn't know if anything was really working or not unless you put a coupon in there. But now you get comments and you get feedback and you get it shared immediately. And so you get to see who's interested in what you're saying, and you also get to be in touch with your customer base.
As podcasts grow nationally, Visit Athens is hoping local culture doesn't get lost in the airways. Instead, they are amplified. For Grady Newsource, I'm Andrew Otten.
The Georgia House has introduced a new bill, and it's a peppery one. House Bill 1013 was introduced this year, and it aims to designate lemon pepper as the official state chicken wing flavor of Georgia. The legislation highlights the history of chicken wings in the state and lemon pepper, along with the variation lemon pepper wet as Georgia's staples. Many Southern icons like rappers Gucci Mane and Rick Ross, as well as NBA player Lou Williams, also known as Lemon Pepper Lou, have helped bake the flavor into Georgia culture. Wingstop Corporate sees how popular the flavor is, and it loves the idea of making lemon pepper an official icon.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, yeah, because most of our orders, even if I go out there and pull the tickets right now to show you the tickets that we've done today, lemon pepper is probably the top.
The bill was favorably reported last month and is currently in committee. That's all for tonight. Follow us on our socials at Grady Newsource. I'm Parker McCollum.
And I'm Megan Bosman. Good night.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Another show.
Tech team to the newsroom.
We will not forget our tech team of producers.
Oh.
We're still running the show. We're still running the show. All right. Let's give it up for the tech team, everyone.
Hands up.
Get your hands ready, tech team. The votes are in. I'm going to throw the ball. Be ready. Hey, Bruno. You get the game. Television's a team effort. You all did amazing. So stand up, just MVPs for the night. Thank you all. Can't do anything without our tech team. Very grateful, but you all worked well in teams as well. So great job. Now I really want to introduce our esteemed guests here. So we have Estelle Parsley. She's the Vice President of News at WRDW in Augusta. Tyler is the Talent Acquisition Specialist with Gray Media. Thank you so much for doing that. Michael is the News Director for WTOC in Savannah. So thank you all. And they are going to have notes for you all right now. Awesome.
Oh wow, that's it. Just like get right into it. Yeah.
Take it away.
I don't need a microphone. Can y'all?
Yeah. I think it's for the video broadcast for TV. Know that you're being recorded and you must consent to this interview.
Turned on now?
Yeah, I think it's mostly just for the recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great job. I mean, that was, you guys have had, how many newscasts have you done?
Fourth?
That's amazing, guys.
That's pretty good.
That is amazing. What I didn't see shaky video. I didn't see blue video. I didn't see badly framed video. I mean, that is, don't take that for granted because those things can really distract a viewer. It was a clean product. I mean, it really was. I enjoyed watching it. I thought the data story and the flock story really had a lot of information and depth. Those two stories were, I mean, quite frankly, those could have run on my station. I mean, those were good. Yeah, who did those?
Flock stories?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes. Good job.
Well done.
Sydney knows, right? Those could have run on our station. See, I say our station now because I've hired Sydney. She's going to join me in June, so yes. One thing I would love to see or hear more of is Nat sound. When I saw the data center and I saw people doing that, I wanted to hear them clap. When I saw the talent show and I saw people singing, I wanted to hear that. So Nat sound just adds that other layer of realism. It takes you there for the viewer experience. It kind of takes you there. For the talent show, would have let me hear a little bit of the quality of the talent. Be like, oh, she's pretty good. I want to go check that out.
Or she's really bad.
Or she's really bad. I'm gonna stay away from that. Yeah. Or I can sing like that. I'm gonna go check it out. No. So, and then the other thing is, I would like to see more characters in the story. I thought the person, the Athens resident who spoke about the data centers and the use, and then I didn't understand a single word that woman said about the lemon pepper chickens, but I wanted more of her. And then there was another character, the business owner that talked about the podcast. So in a lot of what we do, storytelling, it's finding somebody, it's called character development, finding somebody to tell the story through. So maybe it's, Michael Oder has had this coffee shop in Athens for 2 years. In the last 6 months since he was featured on this podcast, he's seen business. Oh, we should just do a coupon. So you're kind of showing that impact and telling that story, so you're not just relying on guys in ties, as we like to say, a lot of officials. Overall, I learned from watching this newscast. I got a lot of information from watching this newscast. We're dealing with data centers in our market too, as I'm guessing most markets are. And I thought that was very responsible treatment of something that's controversial with both sides, and there was information in there, and it wasn't just surface. You really educated a viewer, and that's what we're here to do, right? So I thought that was great. Some of the stories I think that were sort of informational stories, like the absentee ballots or whatever, maybe as you move along, and I know you said that we're going to continue to follow that, as you kind of maybe look at some of the things that are on the ballot or what some of the issues that the candidates and where they stand and what the impact of it is. So it's not just here's the absentee ballot, but if you care about these, and then maybe going to some places like if it's traffic congestion, if it's neighborhood, if it's irresponsible rezoning, whatever it is, some of the things that are going to drive people to the polls. Maybe give them some education in that standpoint also. But this early in, I thought that was it's good, just a reminder of like, hey, if you need to do this, here's how you get involved. So overall, I mean, I thought it was a great newscast. Just that nat sound, the storytelling, character developments, kind of hooked me in with somebody I can relate to. And more lemon pepper, chicken woman.
Hi. Hello. Good job, everybody. I thought the show was smooth. I thought you all the content in the show was really content heavy, very good. Just a lot of good, information and stories. So, yeah, hats off to you all. I thought, just pay attention to some of the audio levels in some of the stories, but otherwise, I mean, shot well, some good interviews. Back to the lemon pepper. That would have been a good opportunity for the anchors to just sort of have a chat a little bit. After a story like that, you can show a little bit of personality. That's a good time to do that because it's a story you can definitely find something to talk about. Very relatable. But yeah, overall, good show, good communication. I thought the communication, which is key, from the studio and into the control room, very key, very important, and you all did a good job with that. So yeah, I thought it was just really good, piggybacking off of you.
I can't believe it's only your fourth show. I'm blown away, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really gonna just
continue to soar. So yeah, and the anchors, y'all were, calm even under pressure. Yeah. And I come from an anchor background, so just speaking on, the fact those pronouncers in the show are very important. So producers, when you put those pronouncers in there, it helps a great deal when you're trying to read certain hard to pronounce names. But no, you all did a good job. Even if you stumble, you just keep going. You don't show the viewer, that you don't get frantic or what have you, and you all just kept going, and that's what you have to do. But no, I thought it was good. Yes.
Awesome. I have one on.
Oh.
Sorry, they mic'd me. I don't know. They
That's
didn't.
right. I remember. I gave you the mic.
Look,
Thank you for dressing the mic. Can we see it?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I would be remiss if I stood here with a wire that ran down the front of me. A couple of things. One, the work that you're doing is tremendous, not only in your careers as college journalists now moving towards professional journalism, but the service you provide for the community is also invaluable. Know that the work that you do is important and people will see it or seek it out. So please, keep that in the back of your mind as you curse a deadline, or you can't get a story, or you deleted the video off of your card accidentally. All of those things happen not only in college, but in real life too. And it'll happen again at some point. So start there with that. I sat in the studio for the newscast just to provide a little bit of a different perspective. The journalism is really good. You guys are turning major market journalism stories. You are not taking the softballs. You're not afraid to do a story. And I think that speaks to the teachers you have and the professors here and their experience in guiding you. You want to make sure that you rise to that occasion as well. When you're on camera, you have to present as though you are the credible source, this vessel of information for your viewers, right? So that means dressing the part, even if it's putting on a shirt with a collar, or you don't have to wear a shirt and tie and a coat. But you look at what reporters are wearing in Atlanta when they're out on the street. It's probably a button down like this, the sleeves are rolled up. It might have a sport coat on, just to do that. You want to look credible in your story. And I say that because the stories you're turning are ones that you should put on your reel. And a news director is going to want to look at that, and immediately they're going to pick up on, well, this person's not dressing for the severity or the seriousness of the story that they're at. Really easy to do. Keep a shirt, a coat, or whatever in your car, here somewhere, stash it. It's always easy to put that back on, shoot what you need to do, and then take it back off. The number of shirts that I sweat through in Texas summers as an MMJ are numerous, and I couldn't donate them anywhere because all of the collars had been swept through. So I think that's really important. Had a wonderful opportunity to sit and talk with the anchors, who I think did a tremendous job. Another round of applause for them. I think the advice I'd give there is, you know, anytime that you're going to be in front of a camera, you want to be familiar with the sound of your own voice in your head. We talked a little bit about this earlier today with some meteorology students. You know, that comes from hearing your voice out loud a lot. If being in front of the camera is what you want to do, start talking out loud, reading things out loud. It will help you be able to kind of comprehend what you're doing, and reading and talking at the same time. It allows you to hear it in your head as well. You know, I think Parker and Megan did great. Remember that you want to make sure that I think Parker pulled back a little bit on the volume of your voice. I felt you were very soft when you were on camera. And then in the commercial breaks, you were a little bit louder. And that's natural, right? That kind of, you feel like you want to, you don't need to whisper to be on the news. The microphone's there. They'll tell you if you're being too loud. And then finally, I think just being genuine and being authentic to yourself. That is a partnership that you have to have with the people who write the words for you, right? Unless you're writing all of those stories yourself. Work with your producers, work with your reporters, understand what it is to be a little bit more conversational. There's always, I think, a tendency to use the exact words that were given out in a press release or by police officers. And we know that police officers don't speak English. They speak cop speak, right? You know, it's technically English, but it is not conversational in the least bit, right? Especially if somebody fled on foot and was transported to a medical center. They ran away and got taken to a hospital. It's those things like that that make you just more relatable and conversational in your delivery. It's the way that we all talk to one another. So I would say when you're writing your stories, even as reporters, the tracks that go in between that have that information, think about how you would tell your parents about it. Think about how, I would say to your friend about it, but we probably talk a little less professional with our friends and close ones than we do with our mom and dad or with our grandparents. Keeping that in mind can really help you look at the language you're using and how you explain something. And as an anchor or a reporter in front of that camera, you want to not feel like you have to put on this effect of being a reporter or an anchor. You're just here delivering some information to us in a way that feels natural and authentic to you, and that authenticity shows on camera whether you think it does or not. Beyond that, the coordination with the crew, really spectacular. I know it's fun to, I'm probably going to be more critical. I know it's fun to like chit-chat on the headphones and all of that as you're going through the show. From an anchor perspective, you know, they have earpieces in that they're sort of listening to a producer, but they also hear all the other voices that are in the studio. You want to be cognizant of that. I'm not saying you can't have fun. Obviously, you guys were having a blast. The show had that energy. It moved. Everything was going well. You had good blocks. Just be aware that, especially for anchors or those that are in the studio, potentially those that are in the field, if there are other conversations happening around them and they don't hear it, they may think, oh no, something's wrong. And then they're asking a question, but it's not really anything that they need to worry themselves about, and this, that, and the other. Just something to be aware of that I noticed, you know, in the studio from that end. Communication was really good, though. You can kind of hear how the control room was going. I was kind of sitting next to the wall. And I thought that everybody communicated well. I thought the time cues were very clear. I thought as we were coming in and out packages, the cues from the floor director was really good. Thank you for those. As an anchor, we really need sometimes to know when we need to go. Those are all really good. You should be tremendously proud of the work that you've done. If this is your 4th newscast, then I think that you guys are going to knock it out of the park continually. So like, it's okay to be proud. It's okay to be a little braggadocious about the work that you're doing here. It's good work. And I think that I speak for the other 2 people up here to say that like this is what we want for students that are coming out of a journalism school. Not every journalism school I think is as put together as Grady is. And we know that when these students graduate, if I can get my words right, when they graduate, I know that you'll be able to plug into any kind of newsroom anywhere and be able to hit the ground running because you've put the hard work in here, and that's going to pay off for you. So thanks for the opportunity.
So
we'll open it up to Q&A. I'm just going to give a few quick notes too. So I didn't say the roles of who was behind the scenes, and I think that's really important. So you all spent a week, and they spent a week last Wednesday, Dr. Osman took them to the State House, and I think that was where Alex played a huge role as well, but a lot of you went to the State House. You felt what it was like to chase down lawmakers, right? Like that's a big part of it. You understood the inner workings, and you know you have access to that building as the public does, right? So it's important to get boots on the ground and be in the field. So that was really, I saw each of you that went there, the stories really showed. So that extra effort really was worth it in getting all the sound bites, but also understanding the story. And for the behind the scenes, I do Allie, TV producer Allie, digital producer Alex, Eli, where's Eli? Eli with the assignment editor. These are jobs that just go all week, and in this case, because of the lapse in the show, it went for 2 weeks. So you guys had a big job, and I think that it's kudos to a lot of votes for Game Ball came in for behind the scenes, and that's a huge part of this. So even when you're not on camera, it's so important. The teamwork and communication was huge. Our readers need some B-roll, so we're going to work on that. Every reader, we're going to have a new system flow where we make sure readers have B-roll, because otherwise you're just reading to camera. And a few things were off mic, but and we missed a anchor intro, but very minor things that we'll work on. I want to open it now for the students to ask questions. So who has a question?
Surely there's somebody who has a question.
Your reporters.
Hey, all, thank you for joining us today. My name is Cade. My question is, when you're covering local communities and you're in local news, obviously covering those local news stories are priority, but when you have national headlines that affect the entire country, my question is, what are y'all's best tips and tricks or advice to localize national headlines that will make your communities care about them? Thank you.
I think you look for the impact. I think each story is different, but overall you're looking for the impact, and we are seeing that a lot. And I think that's actually a gap in some newsrooms, is that that's a national story, let national cover that. But you know, we had the federal workers that were furloughed and laid off, and the government shut down. That was a big story for our area. So I think it's kind of you looking for the impact of and finding the real people. And when it's an impact, it's really sort of what's the tangible impact. It's like, you know, oh, they're impacted by it, or they're talking about it. But you know, anything that's a family budget issue is important. Anything that's an education issue, if there are cuts, what are those cuts going to translate to, say, parents of a special ed student? Or what's it going to translate to security at a high school that's had, you know, some near misses of violence at that high school? So it's really sort of looking at what the impact is going to be. And those national stories, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you asked that question, because those national stories are local stories. They are affecting local people. It's just finding the local people that are impacted by and elevating their voices.
Yeah, I think you may have heard the phrase, all politics are local, all news is local. You want to ask, the two questions I ask in a newsroom every day, especially with the story, is how and why. Why do I care about this, and how does this impact me or my family? To Estelle's point, you could take anything happening in the world and find some way to tie it back to your community. Some of them are obvious. If you have Iranian neighbors who are, you know, maybe reaching back out to their loved ones who may still be in country or can't, it's a really kind of obvious way to go and find that there. But is there a military connection here? Is there some trade element that goes into it, right? I think the biggest way that you can talk about what's happening in Iran right now is gas prices are going up. That affects your bottom line. That affects all of your bottom lines too, right? You got to pay for gas like everyone else. There's always a way to tie it back. You got to take a beat, you got to look around, you got to ask questions. If you know your community well, you may have places where you can start that process. If you don't, start with how and why. Cool, thank you for the question. Yeah.
What other questions do we have?
Hi everyone, again, thank you for coming. I'm Alex. I'm graduating in May, as most of us aren't here. When we're putting together our reels and our portfolios, what are things that truly stand out to you guys that would really catch your eye for someone who is applying to a station?
Yeah, like a crisp $100 bill? Oh. No. Sorry, no, does not reflect the opinion of Gray Media. I would say Estelle, you talked about this a moment ago and just talking about wanting to see real impactful journalism. You're going to see reels that all start with a montage and then go into packages. The montage is great. We do want to know what you look like on camera. We do want to see that confidence that's there. But if you have a story that you are very proud of that is impactful, start with that. The idea of the reel, I think, is to put your best work out there. And if that's it, cool. Another thing that's also super helpful is little time codes in the description. If you start with a really impactful story, that's great. If there's a montage, it's at this time code. That sometimes help us to skip ahead and see. But I would say, yeah, like start with your best, most important work. If that's a story that you're really proud of, that had an impact, boom, let's do that.
I feel like news directors, and I'm speaking for you all, but I feel like even for myself as a recruiter, in the first 20, 30 seconds, I know if I want to continue to watch that reel. So again, it goes back to it being very impactful, putting your best foot forward. If it's something you're on the fence about, when in doubt, just leave it out. Because if you're doubting it, that news director is probably gonna, it's probably not really gonna shine the best with that news director. So I just tell people, your best foot forward. If you do a stand-up montage, usually about 5 to 7 stand-ups. You don't need anything more than that. You want to have a variety of stand-ups, some of those being active stand-ups, creative stand-ups, but more on the issue-based side, harder news side versus light, fluffy, at the fair. I think there's a place for those lighter moments to show a little bit of personality. News directors do want to see personality, but more of that harder news is what you want to focus on. And then 2 solid packages, possibly 3, but your reel should be no more than about 5 to 7 minutes long. So, yep.
Yeah, and I would say 30 seconds is a gift.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at reels, I'm looking at a lot of them, so I'm looking for a reason to stop watching, and I'm looking for a reason to continue watching. On your montage, you surely want to, show what you look like, right? It's a visual medium, so show what you look like. Avoid stand-ups that are repetitious and kind of the stand-up where you're walking to nowhere for no reason. Just don't put a lot of those on there. I'm looking for a stand-up tells me, okay, are they in the field? Are they thinking on their feet? Did they see an opportunity to where okay, maybe they don't have visuals on something, or there's some place where they can take a viewer to the scene. They can show and tell. So that tells me they're thinking on their feet, right? They're not one of those that just going back to the newsroom is like, oh, I didn't have time for a stand-up and what have you, because that's an integral part, I think, of storytelling, to do that. If you could be creative with something, a multi-camera shoot on a stand-up is not a bad idea, or a multi-edit stand-up. Guys, this is really important. I'm also looking for awareness. If you can't tie a tie, learn how to tie a tie. If you can't, if you don't, if you're not checking in your phone that your collar's up like that, for the women, I don't want to see 5 different hairstyles. Just give me something consistent. And the reason why is if I see a gentleman with his tie that's not tied, or his hair's a mess or whatever, I'm thinking, to me, it's not so much how you look. In my mind, I'm thinking that's a lack of awareness. He does not know what he looks like. He does not. And so I would rather be talking to you about journalism and the story that you're doing, rather than telling you, why didn't you have this, or why were you looking? So that's just awareness is what it is. It's not judgment on anybody's looks or whatever. It's just self-awareness.
I would say you want to eliminate all of the distractions possible, right?
For stories, I'm a big believer in enterprise stories. If you're doing something on an event, if you're doing something about some big employer coming to town, then dig a little deeper and then tell me what impact is that going to have to the job market. If there's any backstory to that. If it's going to be an event, the event is, don't cover the event, cover the impact. Stay away from high gas prices. If I hear pain at the pump one more time and the reporter that's putting the gas nozzle into the car, there for a while, if you're going to some police training academy and you're wearing the big foam suit and the dog, I've seen all that, right? I've seen all the the taps playing and the soldier coming back who didn't make it back from, from someplace alive. I've seen all that. I want to see what you can do differently. I want to see how you enterprise the story and how you brought something to the table and brought something to the newsroom that not everybody's going to bring. Features are great, and I will tell you, everybody's like, oh, people love my features. I'm going to tell you, if people loved features, we'd all be leading our newscast with them, right? Features get reaction, but that's not what people tune in to watch, right? People are busy. They want to know what's in it for me, how am I impacted by it, tell me a story, tell me everything I need to know. Do the work for me, right? They're busy. Do the work for me. Don't leave me asking any questions. Tell me a complete story.
How do you feel about vertical video? Should that be in the reel? If they have good verticals, we do a lot in here with that.
That's a good question. If somebody puts in their cover letter that they do vertical videos and then they take me to a social media, that's the other thing too. I know a lot of you have social media and you have your personal, what is it, my daughter calls it, her spam account, I think that's, is that
Or
what it is?
Finsta, she's got
Yeah,
a
I
fake
know what it
Instagram.
is.
Yeah.
So, and then, but it's probably not a bad idea as you're going through this to start developing a professional account, Sydney Palmer TV, whatever it is, and maybe putting your verticals on
Boy,
there.
she's got you dialed right in.
I do,
She's
right?
yeah.
How many days does she come? So many days boom. So, but I think, if you're, certainly, that's a great question because we're all doing more of that, right?
Yeah.
TikTok, and we're reaching people where they are. And so I think that a lot of programs are not doing that. And if you're learning how to do that, right, and it's more story-centric. We're kind of all getting away from, oh, we've got all day to tell this story. And now that you're home and you're settled down in front of your television, we're going to let you unwrap this nice present, right? That's not how we consume news, right? So it's throughout the day. If you're doing vertical stories throughout the day and you're putting them on your TikTok account or your, however you're presenting them. If you're, I apologize, I don't know if you have if the college has a
Grady Newsource on Instagram,
Grady,
YouTube.
Okay.
I follow
This
on
is a plug.
Threads and
This
Instagram.
is just
so.
a plug for
Yeah.
our
Shame on
viewers.
me.
No, it's a plug. I was speaking to the and all the viewers watching.
I would say I'm a big believer in tailoring your reel to the job that you're applying for.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate, if you're looking for an MMJ job, you want all that stuff. But if you've got a lot of social media things, build a separate reel for it. You can put a lot of links in these applications and they can all say whatever they want. If we want to see you as a journalist first, we're going to obviously want to go for your reporter reel, your on-camera reel. But if we see that there's a social media reel there too, great, cool, awesome. That is let me go there and watch some of that stuff, knowing that it is maybe it's a different format, it's a different delivery style. Although we want them to kind of be close to, not exactly the same. So links to your social media aren't great. Help us out, compile your best work there, because we're going to look at your social media anyway as we go through hiring you. So I would say go ahead and go through it now. And then, make sure that when you send a link to your reel, if you're going to use a Google Drive or if it's a YouTube account or something like that, that it's public or at least something not password protected. Yeah. The number of people who send me a Google Drive link that is password protected or a YouTube link that has expired or that video is not there anymore, immediately I kind of have to go well, okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. So just know, if you have a YouTube account, great. Vimeo is also pretty good. Just make sure that those links are public. They don't have to be public, but are at least maybe unlisted, so that way, you don't have people randomly looking you up on YouTube for that. But that way, make sure that they are accessible, that there is no barrier for a hiring manager to see your best work.
Fantastic. They're doing a lot of verticals. We're doing a big push, but it's a big it's the pieces you're seeing.
Sure.
So they're big, deep pieces, but in different formats, just so we can experiment. And it's kind of challenging, right? Because we're the vertical to horizontal, but they're nailing it. It's going well, and that's where the digital producer each week changes, but where they come in. And here's our live shoppers back.
Welcome back.
So great timing that you can join in the last 30 seconds. But we want to thank you all for coming. Thank you so much. We just appreciate all this great feedback. Great show, everyone. We'll be back. Well, next week's spring break, but we'll be back after that.
Oh, enjoy spring break.
That
doesn't exist in the real world.
So enjoy it. If it's your last spring break, enjoy it.
You don't get spring break.
All right. Well, thank you all, and we appreciate
you.
Coming back.